Hello and welcome to Kirkman Towers. I'm Jon Kirkman. I'm a journalist and broadcaster based in the UK, and I would like to talk to you today about my most recent book. It's called Tales from Photographic Oceans. And basically what it is, a collection of photographs from Yes's career. The book spans from 1969 to 2019, so it covers the very early days of Yes, right the way up to their last tour last year, which was of course the Royal Affair tour. Now, I would like to start off by showing you some pictures here. Now, these pictures here, as you can see, were from 2008. And this was when Yes first went back on the road with Benoit David. And I have to say that I didn't realise that at the time. I know they'd been recording some stuff, but then they went into the Fly From Here project. Well, of course, last year we found out that there's a fair few recordings that had been made and almost to a finished standard. So they were finished off by Oliver Wakeman, and they were released last year as the mini album box set along with the Live from Leon set as From a Page. And this is the lineup that was Yes in 2008, which of course was Alan White, Chris Squire, it was Steve Howe, it was Oliver Wakeman, and Benoit David, who's on vocals. It lasted a fair while. It lasted for about 3 years, that particular lineup, before Benoit was taken ill and had to step down. And then in early 2012, of course, John Davison came into the band. He's been there ever since. And last year, the band undertook the Royal Affair tour, which was kind of like a mini festival. Also on the tour were Carl Palmer and Asia, and also John Lodge. But Yes, we're headlining throughout. Here's the set list from a gig that took place on the 5th of July. Now, of course, the new album that is coming out took place in Las Vegas, and that's going to be with us at the end of October. But just to give you an idea of some of the set, and as you can see from here, on the live album, which is a single disc, really the only song that's missing is Gates of Delirium. Well, the reason for that, as I think you will hear in the not too distant, is that they wanted a single album, the record company wanted a single album, and basically with Gates of Delirium, it was not enough for a double album, but too much for a single album, so they cut that because they were intending to be touring the Relayer album, and they want to leave Gates of Delirium in context as they're performing the whole of that album. Now, those dates have been rearranged for next year, and that's in Europe and the UK, and presumably American dates will follow. But of course, it all depends on what's happening with this particular nasty virus called COVID-19. At the moment, those dates are still on, unless we hear otherwise, but that is the reason why Gates of Delirium wasn't included here. Which is a bit of a disappointment, I know, for a lot of people. They've expressed their disappointment, but in fairness, the rest of the album is absolutely fantastic. And of course, as part of the set list, we have Imagine here, which is down the set list there, and that's just been released as a single, and the first track from the live album. And of course, it was released on the 9th of October, which would have been John Lennon's 80th birthday. And of course, Alan White was a founder member of the Plastic Ono band in 1969, so 2019 was the 50th anniversary of that particular band getting together with John and Yoko, Eric Clapton, Klaus Voormann, and of course Alan White. And next year will be the 50th anniversary of Imagine, which is also an album that Alan played on for John Lennon. And no doubt something will be done around about that as well. Anyway, here are some pictures from the Royal Affair tour. There's Alan behind the kit there. He played on a number of songs throughout the set, but mostly, like I said, the pictures here feature Alan on the drums. There's John Davison, of course, Steve Howe. I mean, these pictures really capture a moment, as do all of the photographs in this particular book. And I have to say that there's some great moments here. Here's some of the photos from Cruise to the Edge. Now, again, Cruise to the Edge has just been re-announced for April 2022. These are some of the pictures, and again, capture the moment wonderfully. There's some great photos. There's a picture of me It was a very, very windy day. It was very warm because, let's face it, we're in the Caribbean, but it was very windy. And of course, that was from the 2014 Cruise to the Edge, which is the final Cruise to the Edge that Chris Squire performed on, because sadly Chris passed away in 2015. And originally Chris wanted to do the cruise, but and he brought in Billy Sherwood to cover his place, but unfortunately Chris did not survive, sadly. Still a very, very bittersweet moment, because when you consider all the time that Chris had been right the way through Yes, and it's a big departure. It's a huge loss to actually come to terms with. But the band continued because Chris wanted the band to continue. And here is Billy. I think this is 2015. And of course, the tribute was the Rickenbacker before the band went on, and they played Onward before they went on, which is a Chris Squire song from the Tormato album. There's Billy Squire in there. That was his re-emergence back into Yes after being in the band in the late 80s and early 90s. Again, more photos from the various cruises to the Edge. And again, they capture the moment. This is when Tony Kaye rejoined the band, and he was performing with the band on Cruise to the Edge as well. Tony, a wonderful musician, lovely guy as well, very, very funny, very fine sense of humour, and a great source of information for around that period of Yes that he was in the band. Again, more photos from one of the cruises, and these really do capture the moment. And all these photos are from fans as well. We have a few semi-pro people in there. There's a lot of photos that I've taken or have had taken of me with the guys over the years. And this book, as I said, it's a lot of them are semi-pro or just fan photos. We do have a few professionals in there. For instance, the cover, that is by a guy called Tony Howard, and that is the camera which he captured most of the early pictures that are featured from him in the book. He took photographs of the drama lineup performing in 1980, and he took them on that camera. So there you go, nice little bit of background story, which is told in more detail actually inside the book. Each book comes signed by me and numbered. It's a limited edition. We only had 300 copies of this book. At the moment, we have very few copies left. I think it's about 50 or 60 left. Now, I hate to say this, but this month, October, does have the C word in it. Yes, or the C letter. Anyway, so we can mention December and Christmas now. And it's not that long to Christmas, something like about 77 days, which is scary. If you want this book as a Christmas present for your wife, your girlfriend, your partner, your boyfriend, your husband, etc., or even someone who's just a big Yes fan, I urge you to get in your orders quickly. We will be shipping these throughout the lockdowns and various phases of the lockdown that we have, as we did when the book was published in March. So if you want to order now, the address where you can order will be running across the bottom of this page as I'm talking to you now. Not many books left now, so if you want one, you really need to be quick on this, particularly if you want it for Christmas. So if you order it now, it will get there in good time. The couriers have told us that they are okay to deliver these items even through lockdown, and also they will be delivering through December, but there will be a cut-off point because some of the books have gone to places like Australia, South America, and Japan. So I have to say that if you were in America, it should be a lot easier to get there. Normally it takes about, it was taking 3 days. I think it's taking 5 or 6 days now, but you do get these books very quickly once they're dispatched from the UK. So there it is, Tales from Photographic Oceans, a limited edition of so many great photographs capturing the moment. And I'm going to show you my favourite photo here before we go, because it really is one of my favourite photos. It's the earliest photo in the book, and it's a photo of Peter Banks in 1969, no less. Not playing the Rickenbacker either, he's playing a Telecaster there. That's Peter Banks in 1969. The very start of Yes's career, really. So these are all in this book, and as I said, limited edition, signed by me. If you want it, check out the address, which is running across the bottom of your screen right now. Thanks for watching.